And Henriquez is one of two seniors starting for Kansas State here. Rodney Magruder, the other. Back in 2010, he came off the bench in that game against Kansas. The Jayhawks won that time. The ringleader is Angel Rodriguez. Now, for the Kansas Jayhawks, you're very familiar with this starting five. There are 4 seniors, so when you're getting ready to fill out your brackets, one of the things you look for, senior leadership, and the Jayhawks indeed have it. And we've got a veteran officiating crew in this game too here, Fran. We've got Joe DeRosa, who spent many years. As we look at our #1 seeds, Indiana, Gonzaga, Louisville, and Duke. Duke barely hanging on now, according to Joe Lunardi. And if the Jayhawks win today, we are told by Joey Brackett's our buddy, they will vault past Duke and wind up with a 1 seed. So there's a lot at stake here as far as the Jayhawks are concerned.
No question. And also they'll open the NCAA tournament 2nd and 3rd rounds right here in the Sprint Center next weekend, as likely Kansas State will also.
So Joe DeRosa will be working with Mike Stewart and Doug Sermons. And for Sermons, this is his first championship game, 2nd title game for both DeRosa and Stewart. So the first possession is going to go to the Wildcats.
Now keep your eye on 22 purple, 24 white. That's the matchup.
Everything with the Jayhawks starts at the defensive end. This is Magruder handling for the first time, and there is Relaford, who Fran mentioned.
Motion offense, a lot of touches, a lot of ball movement side to side.
They'll slough off Henriquez on the outside. Magruder penetrates, gets to the rim. Tap, no, by Henriquez. Now it's Jayhawks' turn. Johnson gets on the inside, and he traveled. So the Jayhawks turn it over on their first possession.
Side to side. Watch this matchup now. They're going to switch off of Magruder. Gets to the rim, doesn't finish.
A little token pressure here in the early going. Elijah Johnson will back across the timeline for the Jayhawks.
Rodriguez has had 2 very solid games in their 2 meetings.
Henriquez pops out high. This is the motion offense that Bruce Weber brought from Illinois to Kansas State. It's the receivers you want to watch down in the baseline. A lot of cutting off screens. High screen by Henriquez. Rodriguez now drives it down to baseline. Have to kick back outside. Shot clock at 3. They got to hurry. Southwell comes up. They get it back. A fresh set. Ball hit the rim.
And usually when they get that offensive rebound, they don't have to do anything easy. They'll move the ball and use clock.
Magruder wants to get into the scoring column early, and he does. He forced that one, and it was a good-looking shot.
And that's his range right there. He is a mid-range scorer.
Now let's see if the Jayhawks pound it into Withy here early, Fran, as you figured that they would. Withy stays out on top screening, and McLemore couldn't get it off. But the ball was hit, so it was not traveling. Rodriguez got a piece of it defensively. 6 on the shot. Relaford on the inside hits Kevin Young. Young's got to back it out. Ball fake comes back, rejected by Henriquez. Kansas State off to a strong start in this one.
Excellent team defense. Both of these teams very, very good. Half-court man-to-man.
McLemore got out quickly on Spradling, who was thinking about a catch-and-shoot situation. He's got good range on that jump shot. This is Magruder again, key man for the Wildcats offensively. And again, winding that shot clock down. They prefer to play the game in the 60s. Rodriguez got daylight. Probably should have gone in and tried the layup. That's what Withy does. Now he goes back and hounds Withy. And foul is going to be called. And it's going to be against Kansas State. Rodriguez was slipping in from behind, but I think he was influenced by Withy down low that time.
Yeah, I agree, because I thought he should have shot the ball over Withy. Then Withy comes up with it. Watch Rodriguez now. He continues to reach. He's an excellent on-ball defender. He cannot get in foul trouble early in this game.
Relaford comes around a screen, gets on the inside, and Withy is coming to the free throw line.
Good setup, excellent dribble handoff that freed Relaford to get deep, and Withy just does a good job on the backside rebound.
You know, it was interesting, Frank, as we watched Jeff Withey come to the free throw line. Will Perdue, the old NBA star, who's here working on ESPN radio and a broadcast. He thinks that Jeff Withey may be underrated around the country as far as the next level is concerned. He likes him standing down there in the half-court offense. He pointed exactly at the playoffs. There you see Will's working here. He talked about him. They go to half court in the playoffs, and Withey is that final defender. He said he can do a job for you.
Well, that's what he does so well. And this guy's the all-time leading shot blocker, not only in Kansas history, but in Big 12 history. Heading toward 300 blocks.
Spradling cuts.
Oh, boy.
Enriquez, not what the coach wants right there. They want him under with cleaning up with offensive rebounds and that little baby left-handed hook of his. And here's Kevin Young now.
Interesting to see if they can get McLemore going early as well.
Relaford slashes. Very good defense by Enriquez, I should say. He jumped over on it that time. Very active. So as Holly pointed out, the backfield's much better. Southwell. Young on him.
Now, one of the things about motion offense you don't like all the time, it's an equal opportunity offense because everybody touches it. At some point, you've got to get Magruder going.
Rattled out. Battle for the rebound. Magruder's on the inside with Withey. And Enriquez was down there, too. It's going to go against Magruder. That's his first foul. But there's some early fouls called against Weber's Wildcats here now.
And Magruder got a good look. He faded that screen. Relaford went over the top. He went to the corner. Couldn't get it to go.
That's 3 fouls already against Kansas State. None against the Jayhawks here. The Jayhawks a good free throw shooting team if they can get their early. Inside pass is a beauty. Withey to Young and one, and there's the 4th foul. So Spradling picked up his 2nd foul, and Young, as you can see, elevating on that bad ankle, so he too is okay. They gave us such a wonderful tour the other day, and I really recommend it for anybody to go see that museum. Now stepping to the free throw line is Kevin Young, and we've had our first substitution because Spradling with 2 personals has got to take a seat for Kansas State. 4 fouls against the Wildcats and none against the Jayhawks here.
Yeah, that hurts, but Martavius Irving has played very, very well, especially as a starter when Spradling was down with a bruised sternum. So they've got some experience in the backcourt.
And he's wearing number 3 if you want to check him out. He too has played well. As Fran pointed out, he's been good off this bench now for Weber. Here he is handling the ball for the first time. Southwell, ball fake. Kevin Young is right there on him. Fade back. Knock it down and tie it at 4.
Terrific shot. Great step back move by Southwell to create a little distance. Very good.
Kevin Young active again. Gets into Rodriguez. Pass is bad from Elijah back on the pick and roll. And that's the 2nd turnover for the Jayhawks. And here comes Southwell. Southwell got Withey up in the air. That is rare when you see Withey get up in the air like that. And he didn't expect it. He was looking to pass the ball off of it. He might have been able to do some business against him.
I agree. I thought he should have kept his dribble alive. One more dribble. He could have got to the rim. Now let's see if Thomas Gibson, who's played very well, can stay on the floor. He has 9 fouls in 28 minutes in 2 games versus Kansas.
Meanwhile, Perry Ellis, who was the scoring sensation off the bench when Young was injured, he's checked in. He's out defending Southwell right now. You want to watch him. He's from Wichita. He's number 34. He's got a tremendous upside.
And Relaford not worried about anything happening away from him. He's just going to guard Magruder. He's on an island.
Southwell, ball fake, drives in, rolls it up over Withey, missing. McLemore rebounding, and the Jayhawks coming back. Southwell is on McLemore. Meanwhile, Relaford puts the Jayhawks back in the lead by 2.
Good screen by Withy. Relaford very comfortable coming off those screens. Really improved.
Rodriguez for the penetration. Withy staying with it. Comes down with a defensive rebound. Great outlet pass from Withy. And Relaford finishes.
Relaford knows how to smell that outlet. He does a terrific job of getting out early. Call it leaking if you want, but he knows how to get out there.
And the NBA took note of that outlet pass from Withy, too. Looking down the floor right away with his size. Southwell behind a screen by Gibson. Pulls him back to within 2.
He's playing small forward, but power forward, but he's really a small forward.
Now Withy down low. Gibson on him. Running through the paint. He traveled.
Watch this, Brent. Watch Withy get his head up quickly on that rebound. Now he knows that Relaford likes to leak out. Look where he is, right there. He sees it. Now he's going to let it go. And Relaford really adept at running that left lane.
Best two-handed outlet I ever saw, and you saw it too. Washington Bullets.
Wes Unseld.
No doubt about it.
Kevin Love, not that far behind.
Mercy.
But I'm Wes Unseld, one of a kind. Out of Louisville.
Southwell gives it back down, but Gruder's open. And a great rejection underneath. Traylor who checked in. Loose ball, scramble for it. Wildcat basketball. Kansas bench thought that they should have it.
Watch Jamari Traylor, Brent. They've been looking for this all season. Bill Self's giving him increased minutes. Played well yesterday. That's a big stop. That's almost a great mental play for that Jayhawk defense.
Now it's going to go over quickly here on this block.
Oh, this is great timing right here by the youngster from Chicago. You love that Magruder went right to the rim and Jamari Traylor met him up there. Hey, how about the way Bill Self over the course of the season has nurtured that bench?
I believe Weber's going to have to start working on the officials now. There are 5 team fouls on the Wildcats and none on the Jayhawks. Yeah, Weber was working on them to start with. Now Magruder's going to come down and finish strong at the rim. Ties it at 8. Ellis coming down, has it knocked away. Here they come again with Rodriguez. Johnson and Thorpe are back. Rodriguez will pull up a transition shot. Ellis rebounds for the Jayhawks. One and done now.
It's a quick 3. I don't really mind that. You want Angel Rodriguez going, getting going. He's really getting to understand the flow of a game for a point guard.
Back to Thorpe. Thorpe getting a lot more minutes as the season progresses at the point for the Jayhawks. Now Traylor will step out. Southwell rebounds the miss.
They won't mind him shooting that. He's a guy that needs to play 3 feet in.
Knocked it down. There's Irving doing just what you said he could do. And there's contact. Bodies on the floor. Timeout. So this is a media break at the 11:44 mark. Passion in Kansas City. With the Wildcats leading 11-8. And I want to remind you, this is just the start of a Super Saturday of championships on ESPN. Listen up as to what next. They'll bring down the curtain on the Big East as we know it. You couldn't ask for a better matchup. Syracuse and Louisville. That's presented by American Eagle Outfitters. Then at 11, Oregon will take on UCLA, and the Ducks are favored in a Pac-12 championship. UCLA will be a little bit shorthanded, unfortunately, after losing Adams, and it's all part of championship week, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yep, Jordan Adams.
So we have a very special couple here today. They were married earlier today, and one of their gifts, those prime seats. Eric and Faith, congratulations. Big Jayhawk fans, seated a few rows up above the Jayhawk bench.
I don't know. That's a purple tie, Brent. Doesn't it? That looks purple to me. Oh, it's got little Jayhawks on that tie. Okay.
I'm letting you get yourself out of that one. Okay.
We don't want a mixed marriage here, okay? I think they're both Jayhawks.
All right. Now, Holly Rowe, Bill Self unhappy with his team so far?
Yeah, he said, boy, are we playing dumb. Joe Dooley, the assistant coach, popped in and said, guys, we have 6 assists and 7 shots. We've got to be smarter. They also challenged Ben McLemore to get up and defend people a little bit better. He says he's giving people too many space.
Well, Kevin Young will make him happy with that. It's now 5 points for Kevin.
How about this, Brent? McLemore has not taken a shot yet.
Now, of course, it was 6 turnovers that he's concerned about over there. And he really wants to get McLemore started because he hasn't pulled the trigger yet. And he's their leading scorer.
And that's why they came out of that timeout trying to run the lob play, but Magruder smelt it out.
This is Magruder, cut off. Relaford, outstanding defensive player. The shot clock was running down, and that great defense forced that desperation 3 that time. But we got 2 teams that know how to handle themselves defensively. Both are headed on in to March Madness next week, and guess what? Both could be right back here in their first action later this week, because yes, this is where one of the sub-regionals will be played, and you could have different pods. Doesn't mean they're going to be in the same region, but don't be surprised if Kansas and Kansas State are right back here. We've got over 19,000 on hand, and I'm sure the NCAA is paying attention to the crowds that we've had for the Big 12 championship. Probably better than anybody in the country. We've had 19,000 plus almost every day here. It's been remarkable. And Young on the turnaround. Tap back with Eno, couldn't get a hand on it.
Withey's done a good job passing out of that double teams, and Young has been finishing. Missed it there, however.
Nino Williams is off the Wildcat bench. Remember, Spradling picked up 2 early fouls. Kevin Young gambles on him, couldn't get to it. Magruder has been very active. Now Spradling back on the floor, even though he has the 2, along with Williams. Irving pulls it up again. Misses this time. Jayhawks with an easy rebound. Here's Withey in low. Couldn't hit the shot. Gibson knocks it back, but right into the hands of McLemore. His first shot not there. Magruder rebounds it.
Kansas State fortunate that time. That save went right to McLemore.
Pull up by Magruder. Rattles out into Withey's hands.
I do like his aggressiveness, Brent.
Went after the ball that time. Relaford regained control. This is a tough every possession game. This is the kind of game, even though it's going to be low scoring, that you love to watch. Great effort out here.
Absolutely.
Johnson drains a 3-ball for the Jayhawks, and they lead at 13-11.
Well, both teams are active defensively, but both teams also moving the ball very well. Problem with motion offense, sometimes it ends up in the hands late in the clock of a guy that you don't necessarily want shooting it.
Gibson didn't have good hands on that pass. Turned it over, and that's 5 turnovers on the Wildcats. Johnson and Magruder read it perfectly. Looking for Relaford, and Magruder said, you're coming here, and I'm going to pick your pocket, and he did just that.
Take a look at Magruder. He's tired right now. I wouldn't be surprised if he's coming out. Motion offense takes a lot out of you because you're constantly moving. Then you have to guard Relaford on the other end.
Yeah, there are 3 substitutes up. Spradling misfires. Withey with a rebound again. Johnson turns it over again. Throws it into press row.
And he was looking for the seam route, but he overthrew the receiver. Watch Roddy Magruder. He's right here at the logo. He sees it. He's going to shoot the gap on the move. And there he's reading perfectly that passing route.
They're going to leave Magruder on the floor.
Now,
3 substitutes, and they're going to camp him in the corner here.
That's right. Now, don't be surprised if he doesn't move all that much. He'll take possessions off to rest on offense. And they'll play 4-on-4 sometimes without him for a couple possessions.
Enriquez back on the floor. Southwell, daylight comes in, and offense Jayhawk basketball. So the fouls continue to mount on Kansas State. It is a big story. It is 6-0 in the foul category. Weber is going to start working the refs. He has to. A huge foul discrepancy, and as you were going away to that commercial, Coach went right after Joe DeRosa. Now, Fran, as a coach, what do you do in this situation? What do you say to the referees?
Well, you got to be respectful in a game like this, and these are three of the best officials in the league. I would say, hey, Joe, do I have to go crazy and lose my temper like the other guy did yesterday? Because you remember what Bill Self did. He got that technical foul. So you want to make a point to the official without getting yourself in trouble with them. But I think you got to put it in their mind. If you want, I'll throw a temper tantrum too right now on national TV. But I'd rather you guys help us a little bit. And that, by the way, that last call we watched the replay, I thought it was a block.
Rodriguez hits Spradling. 7 minutes to go here in a low-scoring, tough defensive battle for the Big 12 championship. The kind of game you're going to get in the NCAA tournament. Half court. Punch it out. Rodriguez off iron. Track down Rutherford.
Remember last night how good Kansas State was late in shot clock. So far, Kansas's defense has made them play the entire clock with good success.
McLemore inside to Young, who whips back to the three. Tharp. Yes.
Not a great shooter, but when his feet are set, he's much improved from his freshman year.
Five-point lead. Jayhawks would like to get on that free throw line, too. Remember, 6 fouls against the Wildcats here already. Step back Rodriguez. Can't answer with a three, but Henriquez against Withy with the rebound. And there is the first foul against the Jayhawks in this game, and it's against Withy. And a huge roar from the Wildcat fans because they can count, too.
They have that stat all over this arena. Now remember, Henriquez not a great foul shooter.
We're checking to make sure that it was on Withy. Now that is it Southwell? What?
Well, they're saying the foul is on Tharp right now.
Yeah, excuse me, I had the wrong one.
Yeah.
When the one finger was up, obviously, yeah, against Kansas would be on Tharp, and so Henriquez, just like you said. Now Magruder, who did take a break, comes in. Ellis also reports in, and Elijah Johnson.
We'll take a look now. Okay, got it. Joe DeRosa right there. Tharp made the first contact.
Yeah, it's on Tharp.
Because Withy was looking around like I wasn't even near him.
Yeah, coach wanted it obviously on the center, try to get him into foul trouble.
Watch his passing now. Withy's been very good.
They feed Withy in low, muscles into that paint. Nice looking hook shot.
No double team that time, so he had room to operate.
Kansas State's last field goal at the 11:49 mark. This is a long drought against a tough Jayhawk defense, and Tharp touched it last.
We said this all year about Kansas State. If you can slow down Rodney Magruder, makes it very difficult for K-State to score because everybody plays through Magruder's offense.
A little bit different demeanor in this first half of Coach Self over there.
His players said after the game they thought it was a calculated technical foul yesterday that he got in the first half.
Fade away Magruder, no. Rebound Elijah Johnson. Down with the lay-in. Follow is Ellis, the freshman. Timeout called by Weber. Early trouble for the Wildcats. This is why the young man, Fran, has such a great upside. He can run the floor. Watch number 34. Houston and Albuquerque, New Mexico in the pit.
And one of the protagonists in that game, Derek Wittenberg, a large part of the production of this movie. Should be a great show.
Kansas on a 12-1 run over the last 6:25. No field goals for Kansas State. Enriquez backs in. Stays with it. Comes back again. And the foul is called against the Jayhawks.
That's a good effort by Kansas State. It's obvious out of the timeout they were trying to go inside at Withey.
Lack of scoring hurting Kansas State.
Both of these teams, Brent, have been excellent defensively all season long. Kansas State plays as well physically without fouling on the defensive end as any team I've seen all year. Of course, Withey anchors a very good Kansas defense at the rim.
Relaford and Tharp have the 2 fouls. And for Kansas State, both Spradling and Southwell saddled with 2 apiece. See Spradling watching. Boy, nothing going in.
Oh, and this is one of those games where if you think Southwell and Spradling can help you offensively, I don't think you worry about the 2 fouls.
This is a negative when you get into March Madness. You've got to be able to score, as you know, Frank.
That's why we were so impressed with Iowa State this weekend.
Absolutely. They'll be one of at least 5, according to Lenardi, who will make it from the Big 12.
Well, if they rain threes, Iowa State, against teams, they could be dangerous.
McLemore, who's been very quiet, checks back in. He 0 for 1 from the field. Relaford is 2 of 3. And he is out there. Ellis stays on the floor. Elijah Johnson missed the 3, and Magruder will let it go out of bounds. To be K-State basketball. 4:16 to go here in the first half. It's 20-13. So even though they're struggling offensively, they are staying within striking distance because of their defense.
I'll tell you, the guy that's done a great job defensively has been Travis Relaford. All defensive team. They switch easily. See now Elijah Johnson saw the miss the screen and switched.
Irving. Great fake, moves over to the left, and Withey rebounds the miss. It just won't fall for the Wildcats. Ellis coming down the baseline, forced back outside. That's DJ Johnson, the freshman, who's checked in. Withey gets inside Enriquez, and as he swung around, traveling. Twenty to 13, Jayhawks lead the Wildcats, who have gone ice cold, shooting only 21% from the field, Fran.
Well, watch the defense now. Watch Matt McLemore. He's going to force Magruder to go away, not curl into the lane. Now, because Kansas very experienced, watch the switch by Relaford. Equal-sized guys, McLemore and Relaford. They can both guard Magruder, forcing a tough shot. And then, obviously, anytime Magruder gets free going to the rim, Withey's there to challenge. And this particular shot led to an easy basket in the open court.
Magruder only 2 of 7 here in the first half. Rodriguez is 0 of 4. He's missed 3 from long range.
This is fun. This is the game within the game. Relaford's not even worried about the ball.
Underneath, tap back, and Withey was out of bounds. So it'll go back to the Wildcats.
There's 2 games going on, Brent. There's 4-on-4, and then there's Relaford and Magruder.
Withey reaches up to rebound the ball, and foul is going to be called on him.
And he pitched off first. Magruder had a point-blank shot he missed.
That's the first on Jeff Withey.
Now take a look.
Watch and see if he pushes underneath here against Williams. Oh yeah, with right hand.
That wasn't even subtle.
Big fella, get out of here.
Yeah. He's easy to spot out there. I don't know if he realizes that. No place to hide when you're 7 feet tall.
Kansas State 0 for its last 11 now.
Kansas taking away all curl cuts into the lane by going over the top of the screens.
Tremendous Jayhawk defense here. 6 on the shot. Blocked away, stolen, loose ball, picked up, and Elijah Johnson brings it down for Kansas.
That turnover was because of the 6'10" wingspan of Relaford.
Looking at a Jayhawk team that could wind up with a #1 seed if they can win the Big 12 championship again here. Kevin Young will give it to Withey. This could be a tough out in the next 3 weeks, my friend. This is a heck of a Kansas Jayhawk team.
Absolutely, very versatile. When Young went baseline, Withey reacted in a circle away from him, and that got him open at the rim.
I mean, they are smothering the Wildcats. They haven't had a field goal since the 11:49 mark here in the first half. Relaford all over Magruder.
Well, everything goes through Magruder. If you cut the head of the snake off, you know what happens.
Rodriguez rattles in the 3, and that ends the drought at the 1:23 mark.
Well, this reminds me of Michigan-Wisconsin yesterday. Wisconsin was 4 for 26 or 27 in the first half, but that hung around.
Over the top, Kevin Young couldn't quite finish, but he gets it back. And whistling up an air ball was Elijah Johnson, but Withey. McLemore off the iron. Well, the Wildcats trying to put together back-to-back field. A loose ball out of bounds. Jayhawk ball. Way back in November, Kansas State with only 24 points against Michigan at the half, and looks like they're going to snap that here against the Jayhawks, and they're smother indeed. We are back with less than a minute to play here in the first half. Kansas and Kansas State for the Big 12 championship.
Take a look at this, Brent. Young and Withey really know how to operate together. Anytime a post player makes a move either to the baseline or the middle, his partner should go opposite. So Young goes one way, Withey goes the other to create space. Young finds him at the rim. That's by design. They know how to work off each other in the post. We've seen Withey become a very good passer this year, as well as Young.
What's interesting is that McLemore is 0 for 2. Hasn't scored here for the Jayhawks. He gets across the timeline, and here's Elijah Johnson. So even though they're playing very good defensively, they are not putting the Wildcats away offensively.
That's the story of McLemore's season.
Now you'll take the 3. Way short, but Kevin Young, right man, right spot.
How good is he? You always love to have the one guy that you don't have to run any plays for, and he doesn't care if you don't run any plays for him. He makes effort plays.
Last shot time. Magruder. (24-16). The Wildcats with their lowest half of scoring for the season here in the championship game. They shot only 22%. Kansas State was 6 of 27. Let's go to Holly Rowe now with Bill Self.
Well, Coach, your defense has been very terrific in this game. What have you been so effective doing to limit their shooters?
Well, we've done a good job on our ball screen defense, and Travis has done a great job on Magruder so far, but, you know, he's a second-half player, too. But they missed some shots, but we guard them pretty well. Our problem is we're just not taking care of the pressure, and we're turning the ball over too much.
You haven't had Ben McLemore really go off yet in this game. What does he have to do to insert himself a little bit better?
Well, he's got a couple of good looks, and he's just, you know, he's probably forcing it a little bit, and he just needs to relax. And he's a great shooter. He just needs to relax and see one go down.
All right, thanks, Coach.
And the Jayhawks have turned it over 9 times here in the first half.